Okay. Uh, Hi guys. So what we going to learn in this video? So this is a string word which I stored in the word selenium testing is the string. Okay. So it is like one of the top company interview question in the programming like a technical round. Okay. So what the requirement is? So they are asking to split this word like output should become as steals, which means first this s need to be print, second this t need to be print, and then again first in this first of selenium e need to be print, and this e need to be printed, and in this l need to be print, and in this s need to be print. So like this way each character need to be print from selenium and testing. So first of all we need to understand that it is a repeating process, right? So repeating process in the sense I we need to go for the for loop, right? So I will just create the for loop. So let me create another one for loop. It's a nested for loop. Okay, so I am creating nested for loop in the sense here I'm just taking the selenium testing as index 1 and index 2. Okay, so that I can iterate the selenium in the first for loop, and the testing I can iterate with the second for loop, which means I'm considering this first for loop as the index 1, and considering this second for loop as the first for loop as the index 0 and the second for loop as the index 1. Okay, so like this way I'm just considering this, and each every iteration I need to take one character from each array, which means each index. So first iteration in this iteration I need to get the yes, then the it should be come for the nested for loop. In this iteration I need to get t. So again it needs to be go for the first for loop. In here it needs to be take e. Again in this it needs to be take e. Again it needs to be go for the first loop, first for loop. Okay, so this is our plan. Okay, so in this logic only we going to apply for this. So it's very easy only, but it's little tricky. Okay, so let's start that. So before that, before going to the for loop, I need to convert this to the array, right? Which means I need to place selenium in the 0th index and the testing in the first index. So how we can place in that? So for that, okay. So for that, I'm just splitting these word using this space. Okay. So if I split it in the sense selenium will come in one and testing will come in one. Okay. So I'm just splitting that word dot split. So using this space I'm just splitting this. So the return type of this will be the string of array. So I'm splitted to the array now. Okay, which means the selenium and testing is coming. So here, sorry, first array. So in the first array I'm storing split of 0. In the second portion I'm storing split of 1. Okay, so I think now you will be understand this. So the return type will be string. Okay, so what I done here, I splitted with the space each word, then I loaded the selenium in the first variable, and I loaded the testing in the second variable. Okay, so which means if I iterate the first variable, the selenium will be there in the first variable, and the second variable testing will be there. So now we can easily take the characters, right? So first dot caret I. So first we'll take the I. So here I'm just mentioning that as FC, which means first character. Okay, then I'm going here. So what will happen? First this will be print this yes, then it will go for this for loop. Here it will need to print the T, right? Okay, so if I'm printing like this, So if I'm printing like this, I need to take the return type. So I'm just mentioning as SC. So just imagine the for loop nature will be it needs to first initialize that and then check the condition, then go for the statement, right? So after the statement it will not go for the initialization. Before that it needs to increment or decrement, like the way in the nested for loop. After checking the statement it will come for the next for loop. Again it will check the initialization, again it will check the condition, then it will go for the statement, and then it will go for the incrementation, then it will be go for here only, that initialization only. Sorry, once the increment is done, then it will check the condition, then it will come for here. Okay, which means this is the first process, this is the second process, this is the third process, and this will be the fourth, and this will be the fifth, and this will be the sixth. So initialization only once alone will happen. Okay, so here j first initialize, j started means it will be t. Okay, again it needs to go for here, then I will be 1, but again coming inside the j will be 0 only. So what will happen, again t only will be print. So for that I'm just breaking this. Okay, why? Because once t printed, it no need to go again for the j, which means if again go for the j, in the sense that I'm going to load the j as second, right? So if I am again going for the j, in the sense it will print the e which is in the first index. Okay, I don't want this e, I want this e as the second letter. Okay, sorry, third letter. S will be the first letter, T will be the second letter, E will be the third letter. So for that I'm just breaking this. So what will happen, S will be print, T will be print, again this loop will go for here, again E will be print, and coming here what will be the J value, 0, right? So again T only will be print. So in order to change that, I'm just changing the J value as 1. Okay, so if I'm changing as 1, what will happen for the next iteration? Again we need to change the j, right? So instead of that we just putting that j as I, which means whenever the I is 0, j also 0. Whenever the I became 1, the j also became 1. Whenever the I became 2, the j also 2. So whenever it taking the first character, that in the j loop also taking first character. In the second character it also take the second character. That's the logic. Okay, so here if you print here sys out, I'm just clicking system.out.println. I'll print this fc here. I'm just printing a sc. Okay, if you click, if you checking this, why it's not printing? Sorry, here I missed to mention the first, right? So I need to load first here, I need to load second here. Okay, so if I'm loading this first means this will be the string, so I need to change this as length of. Here also I need to change this as length of. So now check the output. So it's printing steels. So steels, right? What is the output we are getting? So the same. So I'm just printing in the single line. So I'm just here removing this line. Okay, ln means line. So now you check that my output will be steels, right? So it's printing like this. It's printed, but the requirement is only the steels, not the full letter, right? For that what we need to do here, I'm just merging the fc and sc. So here I'm just creating the third variable string, third equal to, okay, one empty. So here third equal to third plus fc plus sc. Okay, so why I am mentioning the third here means it is a string, right? But fc and sc are character. So in order to store the character into the string, we need to mention the string variable also inside to that. So, for example, if I'm removing this string, so I will have a error here, right? So change type third to int like that. So so to avoid that only I am mentioning that as third here. Then if I'm printing here outside the loop, I can print that this is the loop, right? Third dot substring, third dot substring int begin index int end index. So begin index will be 0, end index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5. So let's check the output. So already we removed that line ln, right? So that's the reason it's print in the same line. So for that we'll just print the one system.out empty. So here if you are checking this, the output will be steel. So if I'm taking steels in the sense, I am just mentioning here as 6, right? That's all. So like this way only we need to get the output for this program. Okay. If you have any doubts in this, you just ping in the chat box. So I'll reply for that. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time, guys.